Here we are in London. I'm really delighted to be with Les McKEOWN.
No more than I am.
Les, of course, lead singer, 5 years, fantastic success with the Bay City Rollers, 74 to 78.
It's easy for you to say 5 years, but it's actually my 45th year anniversary right now. I'm on tour up and down this lovely country of us, the United Kingdom.
And two reasons we're here. One, as you say, you're paying tribute to the wonderful songs. You're performing with your long-standing band.
Yeah.
You're doing almost as many dates as your 42 dates or something.
54.
54.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I like working. And I love still singing the songs. I mean, all the songs that are on this album, Basic Rose Gold, which is all Demon, is it?
Yes, that's right.
BBC Records have decided to put together part of their gold series of records, and all the songs that I like, and I'm sure all the fans are going to love, are on this CD.
And take a look at the track listing of everything. It covers all the albums that you're on, from Rolling all the way through to Strangers in the Wind, I think it was.
Yep.
And it has of course it has the 12 hits that everyone remembers that are a key part of your set list, but it also delves into a lot of the album tracks as well.
You know, the chap that put this together did a lot of research with the fans, and it's more or less a compilation that a fan would like. It was fan crowded, if you know what I mean. So these are fans' most favourite songs, plus all the hit records that they love as well. In fact, a lot of the songs, it almost looks like my set list.
And if you look through it, the flow of it's across 3 CDs. It's 50 songs, and that's a great package.
Yeah, it's a great bargain. $4.99 at your local supermarket. I think that's a good deal.
And it's chronological, so you can pick and choose where you start depending on which part of the band's history you like. But
that's right.
But all the way through.
It's the chronicles of the Bay City Rollers. Here it is. Look at that bar. Look at that.
Beautiful.
It's got a picture on the inside. I've got to show you. Just hold that for me, Andy.
Yeah.
Look, this is a picture of us when we first started. There's hardly any tartan on it at all. And then there's the after picture when we've got a wee bit of tartan on. Can you see that all right, Andy?
That's quite magnificent.
Give me it back.
I mean, the thing you'll notice, because it's a chronological history of the band's best music, is you do see a progression in the sound. The earlier stuff, the guitars are quite sublimated, but then coming through you get guitars are crisp, but then by the end you're recording in Queen's studio in Montreux. I mean,
that's right.
with a producer that worked with David Bowie and Dave Richards.
Well, it wasn't the Queen's studio then, but it was a famous studio. You're right, but I mean, if you think about the guitars in, for instance, Shang-a-Lang, they're right in your face. I mean, that chord, down, down, down. Everybody, as soon as they hear that, they're on the dance floor, you know, or they're shaking their hands in the air.
So there's a story I heard. You can tell us more about it. Is you're a young rocker up in Scotland, and you love some of the classic bands, and you queued for a certain band for a couple of days.
Zeppelin, yeah, two nights, 3 days in total. I remember my mum and my dad would come up the bus and bring me little bits of ham sandwiches and all that stuff for me and my mate. We had really long hair. It would be 1971, and we got front and centre at the Led Zeppelin concert at the King's Hall Theatre in Edinburgh. 1971. It probably was about. Actually, it was getting in there. It was the autumn. A little bit chilly, but it was all right.
So, casting your mind back then, a young guy, long hair, love of rock and roll, with maybe dreams of becoming a rock and roll star.
Oh, no, I was absolutely convinced I was going to become a singer. Didn't know if I was going to be a star, but from my earliest memories with my mum, who was a singer, she was the lead singer in the Belfast Women's Choir. She was the falsetto, the lead falsetto. So when I was growing up, I was the lucky one. I was the baby of 4 brothers. So I got a little bit extra attention and more time at home maybe with mum, and she would sing around the house, and I think I just picked it up and started singing, and then people would say, oh, you got a nice voice, and then I was doing a milk round and I'd be singing, you know, the latest songs like All Right Now and all that kind of stuff, and oh, you got a good voice, you should be a singer. And I thought, oh, you know, and I thought, oh, I'm going to be a singer, you know, and I'd go to see these bands that would come to Edinburgh, you know, lots of the like Roxy Music, Queen even came with David Bowie in '71, and you know, there was lots of them. We got it for free because we used to sneak in the male toilet window, which is up a drain pipe, so we got in for free. But it was great. It was a great experience, and when I got invited to leave school when I was 15, I took that as a golden opportunity to get into a band, and I became a singer in a band called Threshold.
And then of course in parallel you had a very metal sounding band called the Saxons.
Yeah, well, that was the Basic Rollers' original name. I mean, I didn't know that at the time, but and then of course there were the Basic Rollers, and the Basic Rollers had a hit in 1971 while I was doing my climbing the drain pipes and watching Led Zeppelin. They had a hit with a song called Keep On Dancing. And that was in the top 10, I think. It might have got to as high as number 7. And then excuse me, and then what followed up was lots of disappointments, lots of unsuccessful records, and the singer decided to leave, and they were pretty much on their last legs. The record company said, we'll give it one last go. Well, we've got a new singer, apparently the manager told them, and they asked me to join the band, and I joined because it was a professional outfit, had a van, had equipment, had gigs booked, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I thought, yeah, it can't be a bad move. It's a step up from where I am. So that's why I joined them. I didn't expect them to be famous, looking around them at the time. But once we got on a program called Crackerjack, we got exposed, and the kids liked the way we looked and started buying a record called Remember.
Of course, I mean the band had been a gigging band since no, Alan the.
Oh, that's all unimportant,
yeah.
Adam. Let's talk about me.
Yeah.
No.
But the thing was that they were a gigging band, a professional band with great musicians.
Yeah.
Do you feel that as a band after you joined it, that people could lost sight of the fact it was as a live pop rock band?
I don't know, to tell you the truth. I mean, I had the job to do, and that was to engage the audience. You know, I'd seen enough frontmen and see what they do, so I know kind of like that's the kind of thing you do, and you've got to make it your own and get people interested. You know, we were playing working men's clubs, going on stage at 11:30 at night when people were like, well, and it was difficult. Once we've been on a television show, Crackerjack, and then on Basil Brush show, we were exposed to a different audience, a much younger audience, and so we would end up still fulfilling those nighttime gigs at 11:30 on stage, but we would start doing the dance halls at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and those young fans would come and see us play there, and that's what started. And then they started getting all excited, and then there was barriers put in front of us, and then there was security employed, and then it got bigger, and the mania got more intense. And as we came into our second record, Summer Love Sensation, it got pretty intense, and then Shang-a-Lang, it went ballistic, you know. And by the time Bye Bye Baby came around in 1975, the whole country was Tartan, including Germany, Austria and Switzerland.
And eventually that extended out to Australia and Japan as well.
And then in 1976, we had hit our peak. We were #1 in America with Saturday Night, which is also on the record. Yeah. I'm talking about the record I'm referring to is Basic Rose Gold, a triple CD released by Demon Records, available now.
Yeah, it's a great selection of songs. And I mean, earlier on you had the songwriting mastery of Bill Martin and Phil Coulter.
Bill Martin and Phil Coulter. Phil Coulter was on stage with me in Dublin, Leopardstown Racecourse, only about a month ago, playing keyboards on Shang-a-Lang.
Really?
Yeah. He's a great guy. I really loved him. He took me under his wing way back when, the early days when he was checking out the key for my voice and all that stuff in his house up in Highgate. It was a lovely experience. Being there with a proper songsmith, a proper real, I don't know what I thought, oh wow, you can't get better than this. But it did.
There's a thing that always sticks in my mind is when you appeared on Top of the Pops. I think we were doing a performance of Give a Little Love, and it was the Rollers with a whole load of rollers.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Hey?
That really sticks in the mind, that memory.
We weren't, a lot of other artists didn't like it that we were on the same TV shows then, because inevitably the manager would arrange it by hook or by crook that the basic roller fans would be the audience. And of course, it's a poor shame for everybody else that was on that TV show. All they would hear is, we want the rollers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're going, I am sailing, and you're going, ah, you know. I don't know.
But I guess at the height of the success, you know, there was this image and perception that you were all driving your own rollers, but of course,
well, we had people drive our own rollers.
Yeah.
No,
it was other people's rollers.
Well, it was a misconception. I mean, but we swallowed, the band swallowed all the publicity the same as the public did. We believed what the manager was telling the newspapers, and we believed that as well. Of course, it was a complete bunch of lies, really. I mean, apart from the milk, we did drink milk, but yeah, it was. And that's just the downside of it, which there was a considerable amount of, but there was a lot of happiness involved in it as well. And I'm reaping those rewards these days when I tour up and down the country. I can see how much I and the band have meant to everyone, one's life in their teenage years. You know, I mean, it's special. That's why they're paying 30 quid to come and see us again.
Absolutely right. And do you feel more of responsibility now that sadly Alan died about 18 months ago?
Responsibility for
continuing the legacy of the music and doing
I don't
the band
feel
justice.
it's my responsibility to continue the legacy. I think I'm lucky. Then I'm really lucky that I'm able to go out and still do what I love to do, which is sing and be in a band. So the public and the people, the fans that follow us, they give me that opportunity, give us that opportunity to enjoy each night with them at the gigs.
And towards the end of your time with the band, there was this idea of doing this TV show over in the States with the guy that did Banana Splits and HR.
We did it. It was the Croft Superstar Hour at India. At first it was called the Basic Rose Hour, but by the time we got to America, they had decided to change that to the Croft Superstar Hour, and they had HR Puff and stuff, and Witchy 2 and all this kind of stuff. I absolutely hated it. But I was just so hated it. It was.
So was that kind of one of the many straws that broke the camel's back?
No, the straw was already broke. I decided to leave the band and agreed to do that last album, Strangers in the Wind, with them, and I was off because they wouldn't record any of my songs. By the way, some of those songs are available on my solo CD. It's called The Lost Songs, or even Lost Songs. Check it out on iTunes. You don't even have to buy it. Just click play, and you can hear a little piece of it, maybe 2/3 of each song.
Yeah, because if you look through the writing credits, there's a few by the other members of the band, the majority by the songwriting partnerships like the one we mentioned.
Yeah, but the ones that got me on it, it's just throwing me a bone because, you know, I mean, it was like, I was the lead singer. I didn't need to have my songs on the album. You know, give Eric and Woody a chance, and, well, why not give Derek and Alan a chance then? But it is what it was. It was all messed up. We were young guys. And, you know, you can only look back on those days and think, well, I would have done that different. Well, I would have done that different. Yeah, I'm happy enough.
So, in terms of your solo career, when you left and you've got the contract with the Japanese record company, did you have kind of expectation that you'd be kind of reinvented, a bit like Midge-Ure when he left Slick and he became this first of all this post-punk artist and then with new wave artist? Did you expect something like that?
Well, I mean, I knew it was going to be difficult because the record company was chasing me with lawyers and that, threatening all sorts of things because they didn't want me in the marketplace while they were trying to promote the Basic Rose with a new singer. And so it was a double negative, really. They were stopping me from doing anything, and the guy that they had got in and the music that they were doing was so different from the Basic Rose that went before. We both lost that kind of thing. So they never had any success. I had a little bit of success in Japan, a couple of gold records, in fact, 3 gold albums over there, and I also got released in Germany as well. And I was happy. I was getting married at that time. I was living in Japan. I wasn't really bothered about it, you know. I thought, well, you know, the money runs out, I'll do a couple more gigs.
So you mentioned the album that you've got out, the Lost Songs, or
Yeah.
Lost Songs, depending on your preference. Do you sort of introduce any of those live? Are there plans to
Yeah,
play
we
those?
do. Right now, I'm doing in the set list is a song called "Beautiful" and another song I wrote in Australia when we first went out. They're called, would you believe it, "Boomerang."
So it's come back to haunt you, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's about love coming back to you. Yeah, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, because on the compilation Gold,
Compilation Gold, the Basic Rose Gold album, Mountain Demon. Yes.
there's a song called Marlena, which is one of your writing, few writing credits that are on here, which is one of those great album.
Marlena, I had a keyboard player who's now come back into the band called Alex Southgate, and he actually left this band the last time to pursue a accordion specialist kind of tour thing that he was doing, and he went all over Europe with this and played all these weird stuff. But anyway, he's got over that bit, but he's back in the band now, so we might get him to bring along his accordion on this next part of the tour and do Marlena the way it sounds with the mandolin and the accordion.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, it would be.
And because of doing so many dates, do you, the fans that have come along or do come along or will come along, can they expect pretty much the same thing, or do you change it up?
Fundamentally, it's the same as baking a cake. You know, there are ingredients that you need to have in there, and that's all the hits. And then with the other parts of the shows, we put in fans' favourites and or maybe one or two of my songs. But it just depends how you feel on the night. If you think the people would like, you got a kind of feeling about it. You just sort of think, I think I could get away with doing a song that nobody knows that I've done before. But it's always something, you know.
And I mean, your life has been many varied ups and downs. It's all well documented. You had a book out a while ago called Shang-a-Lang.
Let's see now, what was it called? It was called My Life as an International Pop Icon, and it's been retitled Les McKEOWN, My Life with the Basic Rollers, and it's out on Kindle now.
And what point did you finish that, and is there kind of a further chapter to be written?
Well, I updated that for this, which is just released, and then the next book is going to be probably about several months away.
Okay, no, we should look out for that. And I'd be remiss not to ask you finally, in terms of this legacy of selling, over 100 million albums, all that success, and not seeing the fruits of that. I know there's a court case right now.
No, that's old news. We're happy with our record company. They very kindly settled with us and now are sending everyone in the band their royalty checks and their royalty statements. In fact, it's a lot of paperwork. And I'm very happy with that now. So
I'm so glad to hear that, because a lot of fans that follow you, including myself over the years, have seen all these historical things.
There was a lot of bitterness there, and I think it was a lot of foolishness as well. When people argue, sometimes it's difficult for you to see the other person's point of view. With the record company, it was a bit of like the giant, David and Goliath sort of situation. But it got sorted out, and so we were all happy with that, I think.
No, so I'm really glad to hear that. I mean, that's a great way to conclude for now.
Check out this hotel, it's a rock and roll hotel.
Well, I mean, you're a rock and roller at heart.
Why not, eh?
So we can't expect to cover rock and roll at the end of your set or anything.
No
like
worries,
that?
Andy. Pleasure to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Not at all. So remind everyone, 25th of October is the magic date when Gold, the 3 CD compilation of the very best of
the Basic Rollers,
B-sides, album tracks, the 12 big hits that you have.
You know, and it's only, I think it's $4.99. So if you think about it, if you had 11 quid, you could also buy the Kindle book.
Fantastic stuff.
Bye.
See ya.